Hello and welcome to the Faces of Africa Pocket Edition, where we dissect and discuss the topics covered in our weekly documentary show, which takes you through the continent's history, cultures, and major issues through exploring great personalities. This week on Faces of Africa podcast, we are taking you to Kenya. We are featuring the renowned Nobel Peace Laureate, that is Wangari Maathai, who was an environmentalist and an activist in Kenya. I am Fathiya Noor and I have here
Jeff Mother.
Hi Jeff.
Hi Fathiya, how have you been?
I've been good. How about you?
Polite. Just very busy.
It's been busy.
Yeah, with a lot.
With a lot that actually has been happening here in Kenya, and we're going to touch base on that in just a bit. But let's talk about the documentary. What did you find intriguing? Because for me, as a woman, watching her from when she was growing up to the things she's achieved, I was so inspired. What about you?
Yeah, Wangari is she's a woman that inspires generations. But before I even tackle what inspires me with Wangari, it's just her smile. She has this beautiful, authentic African smile, and that smile has been consistent since she was young to when she was old. That radiant smile, and it's not one of those smiles where you hide. Or you put in a camera face. No, this is a smile that just lit up the world. Whenever she was, she had that smile. Anyway, apart from that, I like the fact that she was a woman of many fasts. She went to university. She was among the first women to be flown out of Kenya to America. Then she came back and she was teaching at the university. She was among the first women to start the Green Belt movement, and then now again she was she was the first, I think, woman in East and Central Africa to receive the Nobel Prize, which I think that is amazing.
Yeah, because when you look at the documentary, throughout her life, she's always been an activist of some sort.
Sure.
Just making sure that people get their rights in different things.
Sure.
And speaking about that, one of the things that you see in the documentary is, which I found so interesting, while she was studying in the States, she experienced the civil rights movement by Martin Luther King.
Correct.
So she saw it happening and she was present there.
Yes.
That really helped her understand human rights. And that's what actually she says in the documentary. It helped her really understand human rights issues.
Yes.
She brought that back into the country after some time.
Correct.
What did you think?
Yeah, figuratively speaking, I think Martin Luther King planted the seed. And then that tree was just growing until it blossomed in full while she came back in Kenya. So my takeout would be, you never know how many lives you affect. You get? And how many seeds you'll plant in people. So I loved how she stood up to inequality, to injustice, and doing what is right. I think that was a powerful statement from her,
And not only Uhuru Park, by the way, even Karura Forest.
And Karura.
Actually, in 1998, it actually came under threat. That time also, the then president, that is Moi, he wanted to give some of parts of the land of Karura to some of his allies, according to the documentary when you watch.
Sure.
But she fought for it.
You see?
Personally, I love going to Karura by myself. It's so calming.
And if it wasn't for Angar, now the 2,500 hectares of land in Karura would not be there.
It would be gone.
It would be gone, completely gone. And you can see how it helps us. It helps us keep healthy. It helps us clean our air. You get. So Wangari really personifies what it means to believe in something and work at it and go for it 100%.
In 1992, she, together with other women, they went on a hunger strike protest to push the president that time to release the country's political prisoners. And they were locked up at some point, and a lot of things happened. Now I want to bring it back home right now to what's happening here in Kenya. At the moment, we have seen there's a finance bill that was supposed to be, that was in Parliament, and there's been a hashtag going on Reject Finance Bill 2024. It has caused an uproar in the country. In fact, you and I were on the ground for this. Yeah, we've definitely been tear-gassed a couple of times, but I think now let's just find a couple of youngsters, Gen Zs, who are driving this conversation and hear their thoughts on it.
We are demonstrating peacefully. They've deployed the police. They're throwing tear gas at us left, right, and center. We are peaceful, as you can see, but they're chasing us out of town.
Our economy is already struggling. We are aware of corruption and wastage in government, and they want to punish the people more than we're already suffering. It's so wrong.
If you own land in Nairobi or its environs, like you have to pay tax for it. Otherwise, it's taken by the government. So that does not make any sense at all.
Right. So I think even listening from that, this story has actually gone global in terms of police brutality.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have condemned it, including the United Nations, the African Union.
Sure.
Comparing to back in that time in 1992, when you watch the documentary, I think it's different.
I think things are a bit more different right now, being the era of the social media. While we were out with the protesters, you could see nearly everybody was recording what was happening, right? Back then, there were most demonstrations or most of the protests, most people would rely on the traditional media, and they wouldn't be everywhere all the time. And back then, not a lot of people were so media savvy like right now. So a lot has changed. Right now, people are documenting each and every step. It's easier once people document in case of something that needs to be checked, or something in case of a human right abuse. People can go back and see what exactly happened. And people are live streaming, people are recording on their phone, so there's evidence all there. So it's a whole new ball game currently, as opposed to back in the days.
It's fair to say that social media has kind of revolutionized how even democracy is in all parts of the world.
Sure.
I think as a journalist, or even as a woman being on the ground where the protest was happening, it's quite crazy. And, they're running around the tear gas. And I can imagine what Wangari Maathai was going through during that time. And again, I think that's one of the reasons why I think this documentary is very inspiring, even for women across Africa. And I really encourage the audience to make a point and watch it.
Yeah, they should watch. They should just watch, and we should honor this woman more. Apart from the roads, I think we should stick to what she stood for. We should protect our environment, we should plant more trees, and we should stand up to injustices.
Definitely, like you said, justice is very important. If social justice is very important, and that's what Wangari Maathai stood up for. Right, Jeff, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Fathiya, for having me.
Right, all right. Remember, you can watch our documentary every Sunday on CGTN platforms at 12:30 East Africa time, 9:30 GMT, and 17:30 Beijing time. See you next time.